Hi everybody, welcome to day 9, yes 9, of 4 weeks to feel better, 30 days of inspiration with Spinning Arrow Yoga. I'm Alex, I'm the founder of Spinning Arrow Yoga. If you haven't popped across to my website yet or connected via Facebook, please do so. I'd love to hear from you. If you're following along, I hope you're enjoying it. If you're watching on catch up on YouTube, again, I hope you are finding the time and finding the space to join in and to engage with some of the practices over the last 8 days. So tonight is a Chakra Balancing Flow. It's going to be about 40 minutes long, but don't quote me. I hope you enjoy it. We're just going to get right into it. So when you're ready, you'll just need a mat tonight, and if you prefer to sit up on a cushion or a blanket, feel free to grab those too. Okay, folks, we'll get ready. So we're going to start tonight sitting down in a comfortable seat. Cross-legged is always a good one. We're just going to do a little breath awareness, breath observation. So when you're ready, just find your nice comfortable seat. Feel your roots grounding down into the earth. Muladhara, the root chakra, connecting you to the nourishing energies of the earth. And then growing up through the spine, feeling that energy rise all the way up between the shoulder blades, up the back of the neck, and into the crown of the head. Imagine you have a little string attached to the crown of your head, and somebody's just gently tugging on that string, keeping you drawing up through the spine as you ground down and spread your roots into the earth. Take an inhale, just roll the shoulders up to the ears. And as you exhale, roll those shoulders open down the spine. And then just bring your attention to your breath. Begin to notice the subtle inhale and gentle exhale. And just follow that breath as it moves into your body and as it leaves your body. And throughout practice, we're going to use a breath called chest to abdomen breath. So just placing your hands on the lower part of your ribs, and as you inhale, feel the lungs expand underneath your hands. Feel that rib cage expand. As you exhale, just let that rib cage fall back. Inhale, expanding into the chest. And exhale, letting everything fall back gently down. Bringing one hand below the navel, just above the pubic bone. As we inhale again, send that breath to the top, into the top hand, into that space there. And as you exhale, gently engage the muscles underneath that lower hand, that bottom hand, drawing that lower belly in, forcing the air all the way up and out. Inhale, expanding into the chest. Exhale, drawing that lower belly in. Just practice that about 3 more times in your own breath. And what we're doing by drawing that belly in is just protecting the spine so that when we begin moving, our spine is nice and supported by the muscles in the core. Make this your last exhale. And then gently allow your hands to just release down. We're going to move straight onto our hands and knees today. So join me with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Spreading those fingers nice and wide. And just sending the lower legs in parallel to each other. As you inhale, really grow through the crown of the head and keep the gaze just in front of the fingertips. So we're keeping that alignment through the spine. As you inhale now, draw the shoulder blades together, almost as if they're going to kiss the spine. As you exhale, draw that belly in, push into the floor and arch into that upper back. Inhale, bringing the body back down, drawing those shoulder blades together, expanding into the chest, and as you exhale, draw the belly in, pushing down into the hands, into the tops of the feet, into the shins, the knees. Inhale, coming back, drawing those shoulder blades together. Exhale, arching into that upper back. And just a couple more times in your own breath. Inhale to draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, drawing the belly in, arching the spine, really connecting into the floor. One more time. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, just send the hips gently back towards the heels. Just giving the back a little bit of a stretch. Send the breath into the back on the inhale. And as you exhale, gently relax down towards the floor. On your next exhale, slide the hands towards the knees. And as you inhale, pushing into the floor, coming all the way up to kneeling. Lovely. We're going to tuck the toes. And on your next inhale, roll onto the balls of the feet and gently rolling up to a standing position. Okay. Walking towards the front of your mat, we're just going to be in Tadasana now. So I'll just show you our Tadasana. We want our feet about hip distance apart, which is about 2 fist widths. So if you can place 2 fists in between those big toes, that's where you want to be. Spreading the toes nice and wide, feeling those roots grounding down into the earth. Lifting through the inner arches and then carrying that lift all the way through the legs, all the way up the front of the body, all the way to the crown of the head. That gentle little tug of that string, keeping you drawing up. And then really ground down through the back of the body. Open those shoulders, bring the palms to face the front. And just enjoy this feeling of stillness, of power, of connection to the earth through your roots. Connecting back to that chest to abdomen breath, expanding into the ribs on the inhale, and drawing that lower belly in on the exhale. So try not to lock out the knees here, although we're standing up tall. We still want a little bit of softness in the knees, just protecting those knee joints. And the chin can just be gently tucked. Lovely. So from here, keeping the lower body connected to the earth, we're going to inhale the arms up overhead, grasping the left wrist with the right hand, and exhale, reaching up and over to the right. Try not to let the hips slip out. Exhale to draw in the belly. Inhale, bringing yourself all the way back up. Change the grip. Left hand grips right wrist. And exhale up and over to the left. Inhale back up. Switch the grip and exhale up and over to the right again. Really feeling that space beginning to create in that left side of the body. Draw the lower belly in on that exhale. And on your next inhale, coming gently back up to center. Switching the grip, reaching up and over on your next exhale to the left. Feeling that space in the right side body. Continuing that breathing in your own time. Next exhale, drawing that lower belly. And inhale back up to center. Releasing the hands. We're just going to gently twist to the right. Keeping those hips facing forward, so just twisting from the upper body. Inhale the arms back up overhead. And exhale, gently twist to the left. Inhale, arms back up overhead. And exhale, this time bend the knees as you twist, but try not to let the hips shift. Bringing the arms up overhead, straighten the legs. Breathe in and exhale, gently twist to the left. Just feeling that movement in the spine, that organic movement. Keep that going in your own breath, exhaling to twist. Inhaling, arms up overhead. One more time to each side. Maybe bring the whole body into that twist now. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, bringing the hands to the hips and just heel toe the feet out. Just so they're a little bit wider than hip distance. And we're just going to circle the hips now, feeling into the hips, beginning to connect to that sacral chakra. Svadhisthana, our seat of creativity, of flow. And as you reach the back this time, just change direction. Inhaling to come forward. And exhaling to send the hips back. Really feeling into all the spaces in the hips and change direction again. Moving organically, feeling into your body. Connecting with that flow state. And change direction once more. Allowing the knees to bend, the legs to get into it. The upper body to get into it. Feeling that release in the hips. Lovely. And when you're ready, join me at the front of your mat. in Tadasana, remembering that nice powerful standing pose that we went through at the beginning. Broaden through the chest, lifting up through the spine, through the crown of the head. We're going to come into a sun salutation variation, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hip, drawing the lower belly in, coming into a forward fold. Knees can be gently bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. Exhale, place the hands on the floor and step that right foot all the way back into a low lunge and allow that knee to drop to the floor, the toes untucked. Inhale and bring that left knee back to join the right knee, spreading those fingers nice and wide on the mat. As you exhale, draw the elbows in and lower that upper body down to the floor. Inhale, placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Draw those shoulders back, peel the chest up off the floor, cobra. As you exhale, coming up through all fours, sending those hips up and back, tucking the toes, down dog. Walk out that down dog just for a breath cycle. Expand into the chest on the inhale. Draw that belly in on the exhale. On the next inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees generously and walk those feet up to meet the hands. Knees can be bent as much as you like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drawing the lower belly and fold forwards, chest to thighs. Inhale, send the energy through the heels, reaching all the way up overhead. Hands connect at the top and come all the way down to heart center on your exhale. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, diving forward, bringing the chest towards the thighs. Knees can be bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shins, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, place the hands down. This time step back with the left leg. Allow that knee to come to the floor. Inhale, send that right knee back to meet the left. Exhale, draw those elbows in. Lower that chest to the floor. Inhale, hands under shoulders, peel the chest up off the floor. Draw those shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, coming up through all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Walk out that down dog, feeling that length in the spine. Inhale, look forward, walking the feet up to meet the hands. Into halfway lift. And exhale, allow the torso to relax down towards the thighs. Draw that lower belly in as you inhale, pushing into the heels, coming all the way up to standing, arms up overhead. And exhale, draw those hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, diving forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands either to the floor or to shins, wherever you are. Exhale, step that right foot back, knee to floor. Inhale, draw that left knee back. And as you exhale, tuck those elbows into your sides and lower that chest down to the floor. Inhale, tuck the elbows into the sides, draw the shoulders down, peel the chest up off the floor. Exhale, coming through hands and knees, drawing that lower belly in, lifting those hips up and back to down dog. On your next inhale, looking between the hands, stepping up to meet the hands into halfway lift. Exhale, folding the body down onto the thighs. Inhale, pushing into the heels, standing all the way up, arms up overhead. And exhale, bring those hands to heart center. We'll go one more time, just to create some balance in the legs. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back with the left leg, knee to floor. Inhale, right knee joins the left. Exhale, tuck those elbows in, lower that chest down to the floor. Keeping those elbows tucked. Inhale, peel the chest up off the floor. Draw those shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, through all fours, lifting those hips up and back to down dog. Next inhale, looking between the hands, stepping up to meet the hands, halfway lift. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, arms up overhead. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. So from here, you can stay at the front of the mat, making sure those feet are hip distance apart, those toes are spread nice and wide. We're going to come into tree pose, into a balance. So as you inhale, just shift that weight onto the left foot, lifting that right foot, maybe placing it at the ankle, maybe placing it at the calf, below the knee. If you're feeling steady, you can bring it all the way up onto the thigh. If you're there, push into the thigh with that right foot and push back with the left foot. But don't allow your ego to take over here. If you're not comfortable here, if it's not for you, bring that foot down below the knee, working on your balance here. And balance can be a very frustrating thing to work on. You don't want to be frustrated, so work with your body. 2 more breaths here, wherever you are. And on your next exhale, release that right foot down to the floor. Maybe just shake out that left leg a little bit. And spread those right toes wide, lifting up through the inner arches of that right foot and up through the leg, drawing up through the core. As you inhale, shift the weight onto the right leg and lift that left foot, placing it at the ankle, the calf, or up onto the thigh. Again, if you have it on the thigh, push into the left thigh with the right foot. Sorry, the right thigh with the left foot. And push back into your foot with your right thigh. Keep drawing up through the body, rooting down through the back of the body. And you can bring your hands to heart center here. Focus on a point in front of you, just gentle, soft gaze. Shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. Facial muscles relaxed. And when you're ready on your next exhale, just release that foot, maybe shake out that right leg. Okay, you're at the front of your mat, so you shouldn't need to move. I'm going to just do a couple of standing postures now. So, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, shift the weight onto the right foot, stepping back nice and wide with that left foot. The left foot wants to be parallel with the short edge of the mat, and that right foot, when you bend into the right knee, your right knee wants to track the middle toe of that right foot. Encourage the hips towards the long edge of the mat, but don't shove them round, just work with your body. We're going to inhale, arms up overhead. And as we exhale, keeping the body in the same position, but just bend into that front knee. So the shoulders are over the hips. And we're pushing down into the outside of that back foot, reaching through the fingertips. On your next exhale, come gently up out of the pose. As you bend the front knee, sending those arms down, reaching through the fingertips, pushing down through the outside of that back foot. Next exhale, gently straightening that front leg, coming up out of the pose. Inhale, bend into that front knee. Try not to reach the body forward, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Keep tracking that middle toe with that right knee and pushing down, engaging into the muscles in that back leg. Strong in your warrior two. And breathe here. Expanding into the chest on the inhale, drawing up that lower belly on the exhale. Try not to let the ribs flare out. Draw those ribs down, anchor them down. On your next inhale, come gently up out of the pose. And as we exhale, bring the hands down to T. Inhale and reach with that right hand. When you feel like you've gone far enough for that left side of the body, bring the right hand to the thigh and send that left arm up towards the ceiling. Trying to keep that head in line with the spine. We're not dipping down with our head there. Spiraling that left shoulder open. Gentle bend in that front leg, that right knee, just protecting that knee joint. Still pushing down through the outside of that back foot and that back leg. Try not to rest your hand on your knee. Find a space below the knee or on the thigh. You might be all the way down to the floor. Wherever you are, just breathe into the pose. Feel that energy in the left side of the body. If it gets too much for that top hand, just bring that hand down to the sacrum. And your gaze can either be down to the floor, directly in front of you, or up to the ceiling, whatever feels good for your neck. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, really draw in that core, that lower belly. As you inhale, use the core to bring you all the way back up to standing. And we're just going to turn the front toes in so they become parallel with the short edge. Turn those left toes out. And we're going to come onto the other side. So inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, gently sink into the pose, keeping that body, shoulders over hips, hips. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, we'll sink down into the pose, pushing down through the outside of that back leg. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale to reach through the fingertips, creating space in the upper body. That gaze can be over the left fingers. Make sure we're tracking that middle toe with the left knee. And pushing down, engaging the muscles in the outside of that right leg. One more breath here. And on an inhale, gently come up out of the pose. As you exhale, bring the hands down to T. And inhale, reach as far as you feel comfortable. Gentle bend in that front knee. And then bring the left hand to left leg. Right hand goes up to the ceiling, into your triangle. Making sure we're still active in that back leg. The gaze, remember, can be down to the floor. It can be directly in front of you. It can be up to the ceiling, whatever feels good for the neck. Spiral that right shoulder open. Draw that left shoulder under in those left ribs. Imagine drawing the legs up and together, as if you're trying to pull the mat towards the center. Feel that engagement in the legs. Next exhale, draw that lower belly in, protecting that spine. And as we inhale, use that core to come all the way back up. Okay, exhale. Take an inhale here. As we exhale, we swing that back arm through. We're bringing that back leg to join the front leg. And we're going to come up into chair. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, sitting back as if you're sitting back into a chair. Lifting that heart. Keeping that head in line with the spine. Don't let it drop. And encourage those arms, those biceps towards the ears. If it's too much for the arms at any point, bring them down to goalpost or even down to the hips. Work with your body. So as we've worked through those poses, those beginning poses, we've worked into the Muladhara, the root chakra. We've activated that Svadhisthana, that staple chakra, just below the navel. We've worked into that Manipura, that solar plexus, from our sun salutations onwards. That fire, that heat. Exhale, really sink down into that chair for the last couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, gently pushing through the heels, coming all the way up. And open those arms out on the exhale. Lovely. Okay. From here, I'm just going to turn the body again to face the opposite edge of the mat. Bring the arms up overhead. As you exhale, dive the body forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place those hands on the floor, stepping out to plank. Strong in our plank, activating that Manipura chakra, that solar plexus, that heat in the core, that fire in the belly. Inhale here, reaching through the crown of the head, pushing back through the heels. As you exhale, draw in that lower belly, bend the knees a little bit, and send the hips all the way up and back to down dog. Okay, just going to rest in our down dog, just for a couple of breaths. So you might want to walk out your down dog here. You might want to stay still. Wherever you are, bring your attention back to your breath. Come to stillness if you're not already there.
Spreading the toes wide, the fingers wide. Wrapping those biceps in towards the ears. Allowing the shoulders to release down away from the ears. That back is nice and long. Reaching up and back through the hips. And on your next inhale, bring the knees all the way down to the floor, hands and knees. As you exhale, gently send those hips back to child's pose. As you're here, send that breath into the back of the body, really feeling the skin on your back expand. Feel your body fill with breath. And when you're ready, reaching those hands forwards a little bit. Inhale, coming to all fours. Exhale, tuck those elbows in, lowering the chest down to the floor. Placing those hands underneath the shoulders, tucking those elbows into your sides. Take an inhale here. Exhale to draw in that lower belly. Allow the pubic bone to feel into the floor. And on your next inhale, peel the chest gently off the floor. Shoulders down away from the ears. You probably only come up a little way. Exhale, lower the chest back down. Inhale, tuck those elbows in. Peel the chest up. Shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, lower that chest back down. Inhale, tucking those elbows in, drawing those shoulders back. Peel that chest up off the floor. We're going to be here for 2 breaths. Every exhale, really drawing in that lower belly. Inhale to lift the heart, working, activating that heart center. One more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, gently release down to the floor. Placing the right cheek on the floor and those hands by the sides with the palms facing up. And just a gentle breath here. And then switching to place the left cheek on the floor. Again, a nice gentle breath. And then bringing the forehead back to the floor. On your next exhale, draw in the lower belly. Active in that core. On your next inhale, reaching through the fingertips, peeling that chest off the floor. Coming into locust now. Shoulders down away from the ears. If you can gently lift those legs up off the floor, go for that option. We'll be here for 3 breaths. So you can keep those legs to the floor. If you're not comfortable in locust, you can go back into cobra. Wherever you are, focus on that breath. Exhale, drawing in that belly, really protecting that lower spine. And when you're ready, exhale, hands to floor, bringing that right cheek down to the floor again. Send that breath into the back of the body. And switching to place the left cheek on the floor. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking those elbows in, gently pressing into the palms, coming all the way through, hands and knees back to child's pose. Sending that breath into the back of the body here. Allowing the forehead to come towards the floor. Maybe opening those knees wide and allowing the chest to sink further down, feeling into those hips. On your next exhale, drawing that lower belly. And on the inhale, sliding the hands back towards the body, bringing the body up to seated. We'll sit down and swing the legs out in front of us now. Bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to fall out to the side. So we're in this position, butterfly, Baddha Konasana. And we'll just gently open the hips here. So the heels can be close in towards the groin or they can be further away, depending on your body and what feels good in your body, in your hips. As we're here, rooting down through the sit bones, reaching up through the spine. Try not to lean forward or lean back or curve that spine, really drawing up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Take an inhale here, opening, broadening through that chest, shoulders back and down the spine. As you exhale, if you feel to, you can gently hinge at the hips and bring that heart towards the feet. If that's too much for you or you don't want to go there, just stay upright. Wherever you are, allow those knees to open. Wherever you are, do not push down through those elbows. You see what happens to my spine when we do that. When that spine nice and long. Couple more breaths here, feeling into the hips. When you're ready, gently on an inhale, if you're folded forwards, bring that body back upright. And bring those hands behind you now, fingertips facing forwards. Gently draw those knees together and send the feet out in front of you, out long. So the feet can be anywhere from hip distance, maybe a little bit closer, or if it's more comfortable for you, a little bit further away. Whatever feels good in your legs, whatever feels nice in your body, whatever allows you to have a nice long spine. Rooting down through those sit bones again. The knees can be gently bent if you have very tight hamstrings. And imagine pushing into a wall with those feet. So flex those feet. Imagine pushing into a wall. So even if your legs are bent, they are still active. Okay. And come into a forward, seated forward. So inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, open, broaden through the front of the chest. The shoulders relax down away from the ears. I feel like my arms have lengthened. Inhale the arms up overhead. exhale, draw the belly in, hinge from the hips, and draw that heart towards the knees. Keep that length in the spine. Inhale, come gently back up. Exhale, allow that heart to come towards the knees again, hinging from the hips, drawing in that lower belly. Inhale, back up. Exhale, allow that heart to come all the way towards the thighs. If this means that you have to bend those knees, do that. The hands can either come to the legs or to the sides of the legs. If you can get them past the feet, you're very welcome to do that. Just keep your mind on that length through the spine. So don't sacrifice that length in order to get those hands further down. With every inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Feel that spine lengthen, that space created in the lower back. With every exhale, gently draw in that lower belly and just allow yourself to creep millimeter by millimeter towards those thighs. And when you're ready, in your own time, take a nice inhale. Reach through the crown of the head. Lengthen through that spine. And as you exhale now, allow the spine to gently round, that head to come down. And just relax into this pose. So you can see my knees are quite generously bent. I have very tight hamstrings. Always work with what you have, with what your body allows you to do. Never forcing your body to do anything, to go anywhere it doesn't want to go. And bring that awareness back to the breath. Send that breath into the back of the body, into the back of the ribs, into the back of the legs. Encourage with every exhale a release of tension. On your next exhale, draw in that lower belly. On an inhale, reach through the crown of the head, lengthen through the spine, and walk those hands up the legs, coming all the way up to seated. Keep those hands going, placing the fingertips, the hands on the floor with the fingertips pointing towards your feet. And just gently rock out the legs, rock out the hips. Okay, placing the hands about a pace further back. We're going to come into a reverse plank now. If you're not comfortable coming into this plank, you can bend your knees, placing the feet flat on the floor, and on an inhale, lifting the hips into tabletop, reverse tabletop. Allow that head to be in line with the spine. And on an exhale, you can come out of it. Okay. If you're comfortable doing that, go up into tabletop again. If you'd like to try the plank, extend those feet down, point those toes. Sitting up through the spine, lifting that heart. And on an inhale, we lift those hips. Coming into a reverse plank. Again, the head is in line with the spine. Wherever you are, breathe. If this gets too much, if you're here, you can come out of it and try tabletop. Keep a gentle bend in those knees if you're in the full plank. One more breath here. And exhale, release those hips down to the floor. And just extend those legs out long. Give those arms a little bit of a shake. Maybe shaking the head. Just shaking the legs out a little bit after those two poses. We're going to come into a twist now. So bend that right knee up towards the chest and place it over the top of that left leg. If that's not accessible to you, you can keep it on the right hand side of the body, totally fine. If you have wherever you have your foot, see if you can get the sole of the foot all the way to the floor. So you're not kind of letting that foot just hang, as if you're standing down into that right foot. Again, we're active in that left leg, so you're pushing against that imaginary wall with that left leg and drawing that right knee in towards the midline of the body. As you inhale, bring that left arm up and overhead. Exhale to gently hug that right knee. Bringing that right hand behind you and lengthen through the crown of the head on an inhale. Exhale to draw the lower belly in and gently spiral the ribs round. With every inhale, feel like you're lengthening through the body. And every exhale, just a gentle millimeter creeping those ribs round. The head rides the spine, so we don't want to be shoving that head round. It's movement from the upper body, from the upper back. One more breath here. And on an exhale, gently come out of the twist. Release that leg down. And bend that left knee up towards the body. Again, placing it over across that right leg or keeping it on the left side, whatever is accessible for you. Wherever you are, standing down into that left foot, pushing through the heel of the right foot, activating that right leg, sitting up tall through the spine. Inhale to bring that right arm overhead. Exhale to gently hug that left leg, that left knee, placing the left hand behind you. Inhale to lift through the spine, tall and proud. And as we exhale, gently spiral those ribs backwards. Keeping active in that right leg, drawing that left knee in towards the midline. Trying to use the leg muscles and the hip flexors to do that rather than just your hand. Creeping that body round on the exhales. One more inhale. And on an exhale, gently coming out of that twist. Releasing that leg down. And just scooching forward so you have space. We're going to just place those hands on the floor again, fingertips pointing forwards, bending the elbows, rolling the spine down to the floor, bending those knees up and just allow them to fall together. So we're just going to have a moment just to rest and collect, coming back to the breath. Just a moment's silence and stillness. When you're ready, draw those feet closer in towards the bottom, so that when you reach your fingertips down, you can just brush your heels with your fingertips. Okay, allow that chest to be broad, the shoulders nestled down away from the ears, the shoulder blades feeling their way down into the floor. And on an exhale, gently draw in the lower belly. On an inhale, begin to peel the spine up off the floor, all the way from the pelvis, all the way up, vertebra by vertebra, lifting those hips. And on your next exhale, gently rolling back down through the spine. Inhale, peeling those hips up, peeling the back up off the ground, sending that chest towards the face, but keeping that space in the neck. Come up to tuck the chin in. Reach through the crown of the head and exhale, gently roll back down through the spine. Again, inhale, peel the hips up, peel the back up. Reaching through the crown of the head. And either staying here for 3 breaths, or rolling on to the outsides of the shoulders, bringing those hands together underneath the back. Really reaching those hips up towards the sky, pushing down through the heels, active in the back of the thighs and the glutes. Beginning to work into that throat chakra, Vishuddha, the seat of our expression. And when you're ready, gently coming off the shoulders and rolling back down through the spine. Drawing those knees in towards the chest on your next exhale. Just a gentle counter move for that pose. Okay. The next pose we're going to come into is a variation of shoulder stand. So, if you are not comfortable in the middle of the room, please find a wall. And I'll just show you what you're going to do if you're at the wall. So if you're at the wall, sitting with your hip right against the wall, side onto the wall, all the way up, making friends with it. Hello, friend. And then just gently rolling down onto your side, making sure that you're close to the wall as you then roll those legs up, extend those legs up the wall, legs up the wall pose. So that's one option. If you're comfortable here, this is a beautiful inversion. Stay here. If you'd like to try the shoulder stand variation, make sure you're not too close to a wall. So from where you are, with your knees bent towards your chest, using your core, gently rolling up through the spine, sending those feet up above your head, bringing those hands to the lower back. And that's the kind of position you want to be in. Try not to move the head too much. Keep that gaze towards the knees. So the feet are over the head. The bottom is in the hands. Elbows are bent. The upper arms resting on the floor. So you can make your way into this position when you're ready. Or if your leg's up the wall, I hope you're enjoying yourself. Now if you are comfortable here and it is in your practice already, I invite you to come into the full expression of shoulder stand. If it is not in your practice, please do not go there today. Just stay in one of the other variations. The safest place for you to be. It's doing exactly the same thing. It's activating that throat chakra. Wherever you are, gently draw those knees in and down. Sorry, not if your leg's against the wall. If your leg's against the wall, just stay there for a moment. If you're in the shoulder stand variations, draw those knees towards the face. Allow those hands to go back towards the floor, palms down, and gently roll through the back, all the way down, slowly, gently to the floor. And extend those legs out along the floor. If your leg's against the wall, what you want to do from here is just to bend those feet, placing the feet flat against the wall, and then gently roll back onto your side. And then using that top palm, just pushing your way up to seated and join us on your mat, lying on your back. From here, just to counter that pose, hands flat, palms facing down by your sides. The legs are long, extended along the mat. As you exhale, draw in that lower belly. And as you inhale, imagine being pulled up by your chest. So you come onto the top of your head, that crown of your head. That chest is lifted, the shoulders are reaching down towards the floor. You're broad through the chest. Fish pose. Really reaching up through the chest, so there's not lots of weight on the top of the head. And when you're ready, exhale, gently rolling back off the head, coming back, and now into windshield wipers. Just bending those feet, knees, placing the feet flat on the floor, arms out to T to each side, and gently on an exhale, allow the knees to fall to the left, very gently, very slowly. Feeling that gentle twist in the spine. Inhale back up to center. And exhale, sending the knees towards the floor of the right hand side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees fall to the left. And your gaze can be towards your right hand. That right shoulder stays down to the floor. Inhale back to center. And exhale, the knees fall to the right. The head, the gaze can be over the left fingertips. That left shoulder is anchored down into the floor. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, send those legs long along your mat. Bringing the hands closer towards your thighs. Or if you feel comfortable, just take up a lot of space. Spreading those legs, spreading those arms wide. And just coming to your natural, spontaneous breath as we come into corpse pose, Shavasana, a place of stillness, a place of quiet, of calm, a place for the body to assimilate and integrate all the energy of the poses that we've just worked with. Allowing that energy to flow freely through that Sushumna Nadi, that central energy channel that moves up the spine. Connecting those chakras together, all the way from the root to the crown of the head. Gently wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe stretching the body out long. Maybe drawing the body in, the knees in towards the chest, making yourself very small. And rolling onto your left side. Taking your time to get there. And as we move from our corpse pose into the fetal position, knees towards the chest, on our side, we just remember that every moment is a chance to be reborn, to look at life with a new perspective, and to start again. And gently keeping your eyes closed if that's where they are, pushing into that top palm, the right hand just to bring you to a gentle, comfortable seat. Crossing those legs or coming into half lotus or full lotus, whatever is in your practice. Rooting down through those sit bones, reaching up through the spine. Roll the shoulders to the ears on an inhale. And on an exhale, roll those shoulders down the spine. And we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Hands meet at the middle, coming down to the third eye, thumbs between the eyebrows, where we just invite in clarity of thought as we move through the rest of our day and into tomorrow. Take an inhale. as you exhale, bring the hands, the thumbs to the throat, the fingertips gently touching the lips, and we just ask for the ability to speak kind words and to express our truth as we move through the rest of the day or into tomorrow. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center, where we remember our innate ability, our capacity to have compassion and understanding and unconditional love for ourselves and for all those who we come into contact with. Take an inhale. Exhale. Namaste.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I hope you feel a little bit more aligned. I hope you feel like your energy is flowing through you. If you have any questions or comments about tonight, I apologize, it went on for longer than I originally said, but I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to email me at spinningarrowyoga.com or find me on Facebook if you have any questions or comments, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 10. Okay, thank you very much. Bye everyone.